Flipping the script.
By Danice Mae P. Sison.
I knock softly, and Pab's head snaps up towards the door in irritation, perhaps expecting to see Uncle Junior standing there, returning for one last nasty retort. When he sees me instead, his face goes from defensive annoyance to mild confusion to total surprise, and then finally to something so tender. I don't even have a name for it. Hi, I say, letting myself inside the suite but staying close to the door.
Hi.
He says. Couldn't decide on whether to make his way towards me or to sit back down. And after a tentative step forward, shoves both his hands inside the pockets of his jeans, sits himself down. What are you working on there? I say, nodding towards the machine.
Oh, this?
He says.
I'm trying to see if I can learn the basics of color grading.
He rubs his eyes and clears his throat, turning his attention to his monitors.
So far, it's pretty great. Yeah, very interesting. I've been playing around with my uncle's new toys like this Da Vinci Resolve. It's amazing. You can play with the saturation, correct skin tone, make faded colors pop out. Sobra cool.
He's rambling, refusing to meet my eyes. That looks like Lolo's movie, I say, indicating the paused frames on his monitor. I can see Mata Hari peering at me through her veil on the monitors. The fabric, a rich, deep, velvety violet. Didn't look like that the first time we watched it. Looked more like a faded purple to me. I can feel Pabs freeze. He fumbles to find his next words.
That's because it is.
He finally says. That's when he looks up at me square in the face.
Listen, Miri, that job order had my name on it. It's my fault for not standing up to my uncle sooner, but I signed off on it. I didn't think it would.
He stops himself, shaking his head.
That doesn't matter. The JO was routed. That's on me. And I'm so sorry I let that happen.
He takes a deep breath. He lets it go. Tears spring into my eyes and spill over without warning. Before I know it, I'm sobbing into my hands. I feel these waves of emotions crashing over me. Anger, sadness, relief, forgiveness. Pabs walks over to me.
Hey,
He says, shifting gears and suddenly panicking when I start crying.
oh shoot, please don't cry, Miri.
I feel Pabs take one of my hands and push a hanky into it. Gently, he guides me to sit on a chair he's pulled up. Traitor, I spit, dabbing at my eyes and using his hanky to blow my nose. Wish I could stop crying, damn it.
I do deserve to be called that.
Pabs says. Something in his tone tells me that he's done his fair share of beating himself up over how callous he was. An image of Pabs trawling through smelly piles of trash just to retrieve the film. It enters my mind. The image so sudden and ridiculous that I cackle through my tears. Great. Not only am I legitimately crying, but now I'm for real laughing too. Why is this so flipping confusing? Mang Fred, he told me about the dumpster. I explain in between hiccups. Pabs scrunches up his face, as though smelling the world's smelliest, most pungent fart,
Ah,
he says. Then he catches himself and steadies his face back to neutral.
yeah. Yeah, that happened.
Good, I say. I hope it was awful.
The smell was on me for days, if it's any consolation.
Pabs says. Lifting one arm up, he angles his face towards his armpit to give himself a tentative sniff.
Oh, I think it's still on me.
My arm shoots up to push him, and he almost loses his balance in his seat. Stop being gross. We both stare at the paused image of Matahari, her come-hither gaze steady on us. It hits me that I've been looking at a digitized version of Halik ni Matahari, and the Pabs was working on color grading it.
The film belongs to your family, Miri. It belongs to you.
I wait for him to continue.
But also,
Pab says,
what good would those prints do if you can't even watch them anymore? So, before I sent them to you, I asked for help digitizing the prints. So you can watch your Lolo's movie as often as you like. It may not be the fully restored version, but maybe a digitally enhanced one would do for now.
all the trouble Pabs went through because he believed in Lolo's film, facing his uncle, trying to convince him to invest in Halik ni Matahari's restoration, fighting for the film to have a second life. And that act of courage has made my heart swell 10 times inside my chest because no one else has ever fought for Lolo's film. And saving the movie prints was one thing. He did that to atone. Digitizing the film was extra. He did that for me.
Aray!
He shouts when I punch his arm.
What was that for?
My hand rests on his arm while I take deep breaths to calm myself down. I can feel Pab's hand over mine. It feels reassuring, steadying.
It's okay, Miri.
He says.
I understand. It's okay.
Pab sits with me, waiting for me to stabilize. His hanky is a mess, and I roll it up in a ball tight in my fist. Fan myself with my right hand.
Here.
He says, starts fanning my face with his hands by flapping them back and forth and up and down. It tickles. And the serious, concentrated look on his face doesn't match his ridiculous hand movements. So I start laughing.
Wait. Hold still.
Okay. I swat him away, covering my face. I'm sure my cheeks are as red and blotchy mess. I want to hide. Pabs grabs both my hands in his and pulls me closer. When I open my eyes, his smiling face is right in front of me. His mirth turning his eyes into inverted crescents. I can't begin to describe how much I've missed seeing that heart-shaped smile. So I close the distance between us and pull him into a kiss. Flipping the script.
By Danice Mae P. Sison.